In the quiet, dust-choked parlors and the neon-lit diners of the New South, a person is never just a name or a face. They are a walking map of every road their kin ever traveled and every bridge they ever burned. To look upon a Southern character is to see a living intersection where the ghost of the plantation owner collides with the exhaustion of the city commuter, all of them breathing the same thick, clover-scented air. They carry their history not in books, but in the specific tilt of a chin, or the way a word dissolves like sugar on the tongue, a physical manifestation of a region that is forever trying to outrun its own shadow while refusing to let go of the dark. If the music is the blood pulse of this land, then these characters are the bone and the gristle, the actual vessels through which our complicated truth is poured. Whether they are draped in the decaying lace of a Southern Gothic nightmare, or navigating the glass and steel labyrinth of a modern-day Atlanta, they are the ones left to settle the old accounts. They stand at the end of the story, whispering the secrets that the soil could no longer hold, proving that while the South may change its clothes and pave over its graveyards, the soul underneath remains a jagged, beautiful thing that only those born to it can truly translate.
Look yonder, just there beneath the ancient, twisting branches of the live oaks, where the schoolhouse steps are worn smooth by a century of restless feet. Do you see him? That is Frank Wheatley. He stands apart from the laughter and the bright ribbons of the spring pageant, a child who seems to have been born with the knowledge of evening already settling in his eyes. He has a quiet, weary maturity about him, a stillness that belongs more to the earth than to youth. Now, they tell a story in the hills of Arkansas where a man named Bob Thornton gathered the clay of his own red earth upbringing to shape this tale of a boy who walked through a world that time and the shiny glass-towered progress of hubs like Atlanta or Charlotte had simply forgotten. It was a landscape of gravel roads, of small ranch houses crouching low against the dirt, of garage bands shouting into the silence, and laundromats where women washed the dust of hard lives from their clothes. If you listen to him speak, you will not hear the smooth, buttered vowels of our own low country. No, Frank speaks with a clipped, heavy tongue, an Alabama cadence that young Lucas Black brought to the screen back in 1996, a voice so real it bypasses all those shallow Hollywood mockeries. It is the language of survival. For this is a textbook Southern Gothic world, darling. It is a place where the horrors do not hide in the swamps, but sit right at the kitchen table, domestic and psychological. They say his father went into the dark by his own hand, leaving Frank to stand as a small, fierce shield between his mother, Linda, and the roaring, performative violence of a man named Doyle. To the people of the South who watched him, Frank was no caricature. He was the very bone and marrow of a working-class child surviving the cracks of modernization. And to those looking in from the north or across the great waters, he was a revelation. He subverted every cruel stereotype of the ignorant rural youth, proving with every breath that sensitivity, deep loyalty, and emotional intelligence grow abundantly even in the hardest, most barren soil. There is a great law of hospitality in our blood, and Frank practiced it without varnish or hesitation. While the rest of the town looked upon Carl Childers, that poor, strange creature let out of the asylum, and saw only a grotesque monster or a community oddity, Frank looked and saw simply a friend. They say they would sit together by the water's edge, speaking of nothing in particular, letting the slow, conversational pace of true Southern life flow between 'em. It was a beautiful, quiet thing, standing in such stark, fragile contrast to the chaotic aggression of Doyle. Frank proved that strength in the South isn't just about being the loudest voice in the room. It is about enduring and protecting the people you love. But the cycle of broken, angry Southern men is long, and its roots go deep into the earth, choking the young. Yet Carl, in his terrible and violent grace, offered up a sacrifice. He purged that monster Doyle from Frank's life permanently, taking the blood upon himself so the child would not have to repeat that ancient inherited trauma. And so, look at him now at this school gathering, watching the play of the afternoon light. He is free.
Darling, be a precious soul and tap that subscribe button for me. Give that little bell a ring so you don't miss a word, and leave a thumbs up if the spirit moves you. We're glad you stopped by, and we'll be keeping the porch light on for you. Y'all come back now, you hear?